nothing in this world operates the way you think it does. Banks do not loan money. Governments are not empowered to protect you. Police department is not there to serve you. Institutions of higher learning, colleges and educational institutes are not there to educate you. The entire superstructure of civilization in the Western world is a combination of brilliantly put together and well-planned schemes to direct the minds of the people in such a way as to serve their masters.
They built the system. They know everything there is to know about the system and how to manipulate it. Indeed, it was created and structured to make manipulation easy.
There are two kinds of law on the earth that rule the whole world, but most people don't know that. All over the world, all governments are ruled by what is called civil law, which is called, in all countries, the law of the land. But there is a second law which also operates all over the earth identical. It's called UCC, Uniform Commercial Code. It's the Bible of business on the earth. When a ship pulls into port, it pulls in and stops, and it's called in its berth. The ship is now in its berth. Because it is on the law of the high seas, or commercial maritime, UCC commercial law rules the seas. The first thing the captain must do is to present a certificate of manifest to the port authorities. The port authorities need to know how much is on this ship that you're bringing into our country and our economy. Consequently, when you are born, you come out of your mother's water. Therefore, you must have a birth certificate, a certificate of manifest, because you are a corporation-owned item. You are a human resource.
They control the money system. They control the State Department. They control the presidency. That fiat funding money that we use isn't money at all. It's debt in the privately owned reserve, but it's neither federal nor a reserve. It's private.
They're poisoning the people. They're poisoning you. Everything that you eat, that you breathe, that you drink is tainted, toxic. It's part of the program.
They do not want you to think too much. That is why our country and our world has become so proliferated with entertainments, mass media, game shows, television shows, amusement parks, drugs, alcohol, and every kind of entertainment to keep the human mind entertained, so that you don't get in the way of important people by doing too much thinking.
Where does human behavior come from? It comes from human perception. Where does perception come from? It comes from information received.
In 1986, someone bought an IBM copier at a second-hand sale. And when they got it home, they found inside a very thick document, which obviously shouldn't have been there, called Silent Weapons for a Quiet War. And this described a policy of mass public mind control that has been orchestrated on the people of the world, particularly the Western world, since the 1950s. Experience has proven that the simplest method of securing a silent weapon and gaining control of the public is to keep the public undisciplined and ignorant of basic systems principles on the one hand, while keeping them confused, disorganized and distracted with matters of no real importance on the other hand. Disengaging their minds, sabotaging their mental activities, providing a low-quality program of education in mathematics, logic, systems design and economics, and discouraging technical creativity. Giving them what they desire, in excess, junk food for thought, and depriving them of what they really need. Unrelenting emotional affrontations and attacks, brackets, mental and emotional rape, by way of a constant barrage of sex, violence and wars in the media, especially the TV and the newspapers. Rewriting history and law and subjecting public opinion to the deviant creation, which I take to mean don't tell them who they really are. thus being able to shift their thinking from personal needs to highly fabricated outside priorities. Media. Keep the adult public attention diverted away from real social issues and captivated by matters of no real importance. There is profit in confusion. The more confusion, the more profit. Therefore, the best approach is to create problems and then offer solutions. Work. Keep the public busy, 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 with no time to think, back on the farm with the other animals.
You had better wake up and understand that there are people who are guiding your life and you don't even know it.
What is the Matrix? Control.
We are an energy source to them. These entities feed off human low vibrational energy. A perceptual state is a frequency. If I'm in a state of depression, then I'm in a frequency. Depression is a frequency. Joy is a frequency in our reality. And if you're going to absorb energy as a source of energetic sustenance, then that energy has to be within the frequency band you operate on. And therefore, if they're going to use humans as an energetic source, human emotion has to be in a low vibrational state. So they've set up a human society to generate maximum fear, low vibrational state, anxiety, depression, conflict, and all these low vibrational emotional states.
They know the great weaknesses of our minds, just as they know the great strengths of our minds. They operate in what I call the gray area of human existence, that side of our lives which we don't want to acknowledge the existence of. They make us to fight each other, and when the whole land is drowning in death and fear and terror, when hundreds and hundreds of people are angry and afraid, the cheetah will get fed.
Spiritual kind of, when you're scared, you know, like Monsters Inc., you know, the monsters are sneaking in and scaring the crap out of the kids and getting power. Well, that is disclosure. I mean, that's how these beings work. They'll park over battles, cloak, and just sit there, and all the misery and death is putting out an energy that they feed on. And they have this symbiotic relationship with this AI god, their AI god that they worship. And the loosh that they get, they're feeding it up to this AI god.
The whole blood situation it's unbelievable. And I don't know how we say that to the public.
Hundreds of people are reported missing in national parks and forests, many of them children. But a small percentage of the cases have search and rescue crews continuing to scratch their heads.
They're responsible for 31,712 children disappearing in the last 25 years from the United States. These children were food. And I'm supposed to just shut up and not say anything about it because people don't want to hear it? That's tough. That's tough.
100,000 children totally unaccountable through FBI archives, cannot be traced anywhere.
You know, Westchester County, in the last 5 years, 3,000 children in Westchester County, New York, have vanished without a trace. Where are they going? Why are we allowing this to happen?
Nobody's ever seen them. I think they're hauled underneath in some of these bases, and they are summarily done away with, and they are literally eaten.
There are tunneling systems everywhere. They're being helped by the Greys, and also there are groups within the higher echelon that are actually helping them acquire this.
Right now, there are 131 active deep underground military bases in the United States. There's 1,477 of them worldwide. The public basically has been totally lied to. We're considered stupid or even moronic in some cases. They use the glandular secretions of animals and human beings as a mixture of the vitamins for their food. They get high off of our adrenal gland substances called adrenochrome. It's something like cocaine.
The children are the
They have the most energy, the purest energy, they're the highest form of sacrifice. They are used as actual blood sacrifices.
5.5 million children every year are trafficked around the world. 5.5 million, most of whom don't live past age 7 or 8, which means they have to replenish that supply chain.
This is coming out of this reptilian tanker, dropping 5 gases at 300 feet. Everybody's minds are controlled to not see it, just like a stealth system. So the commander of this squadron made sure that that stealth was turned on. He forgot to turn on the stealth that prevents the camera from photographing it. They're flying all over us. There's hundreds of them. There's thousands of them every single day on your planet. They're dropping the gas. And you don't function normally, or how you should function. And so, again, we are being mind controlled, not for the last couple of weeks, but for thousands of years.
Also monitor each city, county, whatever. And if a certain amount of people are starting to wake up, they will go and drop mind control gas on them. For the most part, they use a technology that sends that puts out a field that controls our minds. They don't want you to see certain things. You just don't see them. And I mean, you could have your dog could be next to you going, you know, what the heck is that? And you don't see it. It's, you know, it's set to the waves of how our mind works. All of us, you, me, people at home, we're all mind controlled to a certain degree.
So there are changes going on in the earth. It seems they're not able to hold their shape like they once were able to, and people see them shapeshift more and more. I believe there's a time coming that because of what I've been told, when they are not going to bother having to hold that human shape as they had to before. This whole thing is going towards when they are going to establish themselves openly as a new world order. And it's headed toward that.
On the backside of the dollar bill, you'll find the Illuminati pyramid. Annuit Septus, Novus Ordo Seclorum, the New World Order.
We have before us the opportunity to forge for ourselves and for future generations a new world order, a world where the rule of law, not the law of the jungle, governs the conduct of nations. When we are successful, and we will be, we have a real chance at this new world order, an order in which a credible United Nations can use its peacekeeping role to fulfill the promise and vision of the UN's founders.
What the New World Order means is the creation of one world government to which all nation states would be subordinate, one world central bank, one world currency that wouldn't be physical money, it would be credit, one world army, and a microchipped population.
The alien agenda is the complete takeover of this planet, the killing off of 5/6 to 7/8 of the world's population by the year 2029. U.S. military has known about this for 45 years. They've told no one.
Which Jimmy Carter put in writing. Every congressman got a copy of it. As Kissinger says, the number one problem we have on planet Earth right now is too many people.
Do you know that they're building concentration camps to put millions of people in? Do you know that the United Nations has got 300,000 troops in the United States right now that they're going to use to confiscate weapons?
The idea is to get humans controlled by artificial intelligence so that they completely control that perceptual state.
The big picture, they want it all. They want to enslave your child, your wife, your mother. There isn't anything that you ever had. There isn't anything that you own. There isn't any right that you possess that they're not planning on taking away. They want it all. You've got a choice. You can join in this fight, or you can die as a saint.
Beneath the being descended from Mayan ruins. Larry Hoover's spine is the Malcolm X of the music. And walking in your purpose, then while you walking, you're useless. Divine love, but you can call it cosmic Kama Sutra. I'm waking up the planet while spitting the